So welcome back. Today we will do some numerical problems from electrostatics. So we shall go to the first question. So the question is, a polythene piece rubbed with wool is found to have a negative charge of 3.2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Section A, estimate the number of electrons transferred. Section B, is there any transfer of atoms? So for section A, estimate the number of electrons transferred. So first we shall write down the data given. The charge is given as 3.2 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Then for section A, the number of electrons transferred. That means what? You have to connect the number of electrons to charge. Then from the property of quantization of charge, you know Q is equal to plus or minus NE, where E is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. Therefore, we can rewrite this equation Q is equal to plus or minus NE, or we can substitute the values of Q and E. So Q and E are given and the only unknown term is N. So from this equation, what is N? N is equal to Q by E. That is, Q by E is equal to 3.2 10 raised to minus 7 divided by 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. And on substitution, you will get the answer as 2. You know, this will be 1.6 and 3.2 will be cut, and what is remaining is 2. So 2 into 10 raised to 12 is the answer. Then there is one more section for the question, that is there any transfer of mass? Is there any transfer of mass? So static charges are produced when charges shift from one material to another. Since electrons are having mass, yes, there will be a transfer of mass. Yes, there is a transfer of mass. And what is the mass transferred? Mass transferred is equal to mass of electron into number of electrons. So mass of electron, we know it is 9.1 into 10 raised to minus 31 kilogram into number of electrons transferred is 2 in 10 raised to 12. That means when we multiply these two, you will get the answer as 1.82 into 10 raised to minus 18 kilogram is the mass transferred. That means when polythene is rubbed with wool, polythene is found to have a negative charge. That means polythene gets some electrons. How many electrons? Polythene got 2 into 10 raised to 12 electrons got. And what is the corresponding mass of these 2 into 10 raised to 12 electrons? It is 2 into 10 raised to 12 into 9.1 in 10 raised to minus 31, that is 1.82 into 10 raised to minus 18 kilogram of mass it got. Then our second question is, the electrostatic force on a small sphere of charge 0.4 microcoulomb due to another sphere of charge 0.8 microcoulomb in air is 0.2 Newton. Section A, what is the distance between the two spheres? Section B, what is the force on the second sphere due to the first one? So we have two charges. One is Q1 is equal to 0.4 microcoulomb. Another one is Q2 is equal to 0.8 microcoulomb. And these are placed in air, and the force between these two charges is 0.2 Newton. So from the discussion, from the previous discussion, we know the electrostatic force between two charges will be F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square. So q1 is given, q2 is given, force is given. The only unknown term will be the distance r. So here I will draw a diagram of the situation. Q1 and Q2 are the two charges. R is the distance of separation between Q1 and Q2. Therefore, Coulomb's law states that F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 Q1 Q2 by r square. Here Q1 Q2 and force are given. The only unknown term is the distance r, or here it is r square. So substituting for all these, and here you know since the charges are placed in air, the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 will be 9 to 10 raised to 9. So from our previous discussion we know that in air or vacuum the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 will be 9 into 10 raised to 9. So this will become about 9 to 10 raised to 9 into q1 q2 by r square. That is F is equal to 0.2, 0.2 is equal to 9 to 10 raised to 9 into q1, which is 0.4 10 raised to minus 6 into q2, which is 0.8 10 raised to minus 6 divided by r square. So here the only unknown term is r square, and on solving we will get the value of r. And what is the value of r? We will get the value of r as 0.12 meter. So 0.12 meter is the distance between q1 and q2 for a force of 0.2 Newton. Then there is one more section. What is the force on the second sphere due to the first? The force on the second sphere will be same as that in the first one. That means the force on q1 will be, the force on both the q1 and q2 will be same, right? The force on both the charges will be same. That means on q1 if the force is 0.2 Newton, q2 also if the force is 0.2 Newton. So 0.2 Newton on second sphere. Now we will go to our third question. That is, what is the force between two small charged spheres having charges 2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb and 3 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb placed in air 30 centimeter apart? So first we will write the data given. Q1 is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. Q2 is equal to 3 into 10 raised to minus 7 coulomb. And the distance of separation r is 30 centimeter. That you know, that is equal to 30 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter, because centi means it is 10 raised to minus 2. So centi means 10 raised to minus, so it is 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Then the diagram will be as shown here. Q1 and Q2, these are separated by a distance r. Then applying the Coulomb's law, F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 q1 q2 by r square. And here q1 q2 r everything is given. Q1 q2 r everything is given, and the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 will be 9 to 10 raised to 9 from our previous question, you know, because it is placed in air. So substituting the value of q1 q2 r, you will get the force as 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. So it is a very simple question and also it is a direct question. Simply have to substitute for q1, q2 and r. Then the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is 9 10 raised to 9. So just to find the product and divide by r square will give the answer as 6 into 10 raised to minus 3 Newton. So next our fourth question. The fourth question is calculate the electric field acting on electron in a hydrogen atom due to the proton in the nucleus. The radius of the orbit of electron is 5.3 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter. So first we will draw a diagram of the situation. So this is the hydrogen atom with one positive charge in the nucleus and electron is orbiting around this nucleus. Radius is 5.3 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter. Actually it is a distance between these two charges. The distance between a positive charge and this electron in the nucleus is r is equal to 5.3 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter. Then from the previous discussion we know the equation for intensity of electric field is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into q by r square, where q the charge will be but 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 coulomb. The distance here it will be the radius, right? The distance between these two charges is 5.3 into 10 raised to minus 11 meter. So when we substitute for all these, it is 9 into 10 raised to 9 into q is equal to 1.6 into 10 raised to minus 19 divided by r square is 5.3 into 10 raised to minus 11 the whole square. So on calculation you will get the answer of strength of electric field. The strength of electric field will be 5.1 into 10 raised to 11 Newton per coulomb. Now the fifth question is an electric dipole has positive and negative charges of 4 microcoulomb each separated by a distance of 5 millimeter. Calculate the dipole moment. So all of us know what is an electric dipole. It is an arrangement of two equal and opposite. That means positive and negative equal in the sense the magnitude is 4 microcoulomb. So it can be shown here plus q and minus q are separated by a small distance which is 2l, because normally we take the middle point as the midpoint as the reference point. So from the reference point L to plus q, L to minus q, so the total is 2l. And the dipole moment is given by P is equal to q into 2l, where q is 4 microcoulomb. Micro means 10 raised to minus 6, therefore it is 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb. 2l the distance of separation is 5 millimeter, therefore that is equal to 5 into 10 raised to minus 3 meter. Then substituting for q and 2l we can write dipole moment P is equal to 4 into 10 raised to minus 6 into 5 into 10 raised to minus 3. So on multiplication you will get the answer as 5 into 4 is 20, 20 this is minus 9 minus 6 minus 3 minus 9. So it is 20 into 10 raised to minus 9, or that is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 8 coulomb meter. That is the answer. So our sixth question is a point charge of 2 microcoulomb is at the center of a cubical Gaussian surface of side 9 centimeter. What is the net flux through the surface? So there is a charge of 2 microcoulomb which is kept inside a cubical Gaussian surface. So we may draw a cube like this, and inside this cube there is a charge of 2 microcoulomb. So 2 microcoulomb charge is placed inside this cube. So if that is the case, what is the flux through the surface? So there will be there will be electric field lines passing normal through the surface, right? And what is the electric flux? From Gauss theorem, you know flux phi is equal to q by epsilon 0, and the q and the value of epsilon 0 we have already learned is 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12 coulomb square per Newton per meter square. Therefore, substituting for q and epsilon 0, we can write phi is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 6 divided by 8.85 into 10 raised to minus 12. So, on calculation you will get the answer for the electric flux, which is 2.3 into 10 raised to 5 Newton meter square per coulomb. So, this is the answer, or this is the electric flux through the surface of this cube, inside which there is a charge of 2 microcoulomb placed. Now, our seventh question is, if the intensity of electric field E is equal to 6I plus 3J plus 4K Newton per coulomb, calculate the flux through a surface area 20I meter square. So, this is a question to find the electric flux, right? And we have a general equation for the electric flux other than the Gauss theorem, that is phi is equal to E dot A, where E and A are vectors, and vector E is given by 6I plus 3J plus 4K Newton per coulomb. So, all these are unit vectors. I, J and K are the unit vectors, and the surface area is given as a vector which is 20I meter square. Now, phi is equal to what? Phi is equal to E dot A. That means 6I plus 3J plus 4K dot 20I. Okay. So, you know the from the previous lessons we know how to take the dot product. We will take the product of I dot I only, because I dot I will be I square, that is equal to 1. Therefore, I dot I means 6I dot 20I. So, 6I dot 20I is equal to 120 I square is equal to 1. Therefore, 120 Newton meter square per coulomb is the answer. Then what about other terms like I dot J or I dot K? For these products, that means I dot J or I dot K, for or J dot I or K dot I, for all these the values will be 0. So, all these products will be 0, only I dot I, because I dot I is equal to 1. Therefore, 6I dot 20I will exist, because I dot I is equal to 1. Therefore, I dot I is equal to 1, then 6 into 20 is equal to 120. So, 120 Newton meter square per coulomb is the answer. Then our last question, that is, an infinite line charge produces a field of 9 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per coulomb at a distance of 2 centimeter. Find the linear density of charge, or find the linear charge density. So, we have learned the charge distribution along in a linear case, or on a surface, or also in a volume. So, the data given is E is equal to 9 into 10 raised to 4 Newton per coulomb, and the distance R is equal to 2 centimeter. That means 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 meter. Then, in the case of a linear charge distribution, or in the case of a line charge distribution, that means the electric field due to a long conductor, charged conductor, is E is equal to lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 r. This derivation we have already learnt. So now this we are rewriting with another way, that is you multiply numerator and denominator with 2. So here it is 2 into lambda, then means it is 2 lambda. Here it is 2 into 2 pi epsilon 0. So 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So 4 pi epsilon 0 r. So this equation you can rewrite as 2 lambda divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 r. This is to take the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 for the multiplication. So lambda by 2 pi epsilon 0 can be rewritten as 2 lambda divided by 4 pi epsilon 0 r. So numerator is multiplied by 2, denominator is also multiplied by 2. So this is the equation. Therefore this is equal to what? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2 lambda, right? 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 into 2 lambda by r, because the value of this 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0 is already known. So it is to use this value that we are multiplying this with the 2. So it is 1 by 4 pi epsilon 0, that is 9 to 10 raised to 9. So 9 to 10 raised to 9 into 2 lambda divided by r, and e is given as what? 9 into 10 raised to 4. That means 9 into 10 raised to 4 is equal to, so e is equal to 9 10 raised to 4 is equal to 9 to 10 raised to 9, that is this value, into 2 lambda divided by r. And what is r? R is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 2. So these two 9 will be cancelled. Actually these two will also be cancelled, otherwise we can rewrite as lambda is equal to 2 into 10 raised to minus 2 into 10 raised to 4. So there is a cross multiplication, divided by this 2 into 10 raised to 9 will come to the denominator. Again these two 2's will be cancelled. Now what do you get is 10 raised to minus 2 is there. Then this 10 raised to 4 is there. Then 10 raised to 9 on numerator will become 10 raised to minus 9. So this plus 9 will become minus 9 when it is taken to numerator. Therefore minus 2 minus 9, it is minus 11, plus 4 is minus 7. So 10 raised to minus 7 is the answer, and 10 raised to minus 7 is equal to 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 6, because 10 raised to minus 6, you know, it is micro, so now it is a standard form. So it is 0.1 to 10 raised to minus 6 coulomb per meter. Since this is micro, you can write it as what? 0.1 micro coulomb per meter. So 0.1 micro coulomb per meter is the answer. So these are some fundamental questions from the chapter electrostatics, and there are more questions in your textbook that you can refer and try to solve more and more questions from your textbook. So today we are winding up here. Thank you for watching.